It's the oldest story in the book. Liberal policies do a number on Democrat-run cities, sowing chaos, crime, and poop-encrusted streets. Residents beg for mercy, and then Democrats pivot to sounding like Republicans. Philly's newly inaugurated mayor promising more cops on the beat and declaring a public safety emergency in her first executive order in office.
We're going to make our city safe for the people who live here, who work here, and who come into our city from the suburbs and from across the country and from across the world. If we don't get our own house in order before company comes, and if we don't address public safety, we won't be ready to receive anybody in 2026. I am fully committed to ending this sense of lawlessness and bringing order back to our city and a sense of lawfulness.
Sounds like a Republican. And Biden's border crisis causing Democrat mayors to sound like GOP border security hawks.
Addison Township police officers did not know if any of those 40 individuals were carrying weapons. They couldn't be identified. And that is a major problem. That's a major security risk. It's a health risk. And we're just not going to tolerate that. The solution for me as the mayor of Edison is not to pawn it off to another mayor.
Jesse, if they only watched this show, they could have avoided this mess. Why is this always the case? Should we have elections year-round so they start acting like adults?
Year-round elections? What do you mean by that?
Every month we have an election, so they're constantly listening to their constituents and keeping their city safe. How about that, Jesse?
Well, that would be good for ratings.
It would really be good for ratings. More hair products for you.
That's true. That's true. I can't get enough. I think what happened is that the Trump derangement syndrome combined with the George Floyd hysteria, triggered all of these anxious Democrats who already had daddy issues, who are already incredibly insecure, to become radical racial revolutionaries. And what they wanted to do is label the entire Western civilization as an evil patriarchy infused with racism. And they had to tear it down. And, you know, instead of saying no, we handed these people a sledgehammer. And for the last 3 years have watched them just take strike after strike at the pillars of our civic society, knocking out the prison system, knocking out the criminal justice system, knocking out the education system. And it's actually immoral to release the same criminal month after month to prey on the public. It's immoral to teach children about racism instead of teaching them how to read. It's immoral to let poison flood into the streets and have everybody die on the cement. And so we stand around watching it all happen. And if you want to do something about it, if a Democrat wants to identify as a Republican, that's the kind of transitioning that I support, Greg. I was just down in Philly, and Walnut Street, the nicest commercial district, all of the flagship shops have shut down because they can't protect their merchandise, they can't protect their customers, and they can't protect their employees. And Jessica, I mean, if you want to have all the great stuff that liberals love in cities, like Italian leather shops
and Lululemon
and these ridiculously pretentious art galleries and your little Asian fusion hot restaurants that no one can understand what's on the menu, that's all going to leave. All of the wealth, all of the commercial activity is just going to leave, and you're just going to wind up with a gaping wound in the city of brotherly love.
Oh, that is touching. It's true. That's the Liberty Bell now is selling its own crack. Jessica, how does it feel to be pushing such an immoral vision for America? It must make you sick to your stomach.
I'm going to puke in the C block. Get ready for it.
That's for a different reason.
Yeah.
Okay. So the new mayor acknowledged that there has been a drop in the murder and
property crime.
And property.
Most people don't get murdered, Jessica, but a lot of people get mugged.
They certainly aren't telling you about it.
Yes.
But she doesn't sound like anything but a regular Democrat. No, it's true. She's not saying, and she doesn't sound like a Republican. She's not saying, bring back stop and frisk or 3 strikes and you're out or get all the undocumented people out of America.
Give it time.
She's talking she just got elected. She has a while to coast on this one. She's speaking in common sense terms, and I was struck by the fact that this is probably what people in Chicago would have heard if Paul Vallas had won that election instead of Brandon Johnson, right? They would have gotten a rousing opening day speech about cutting down on crime, and it does, again, have to be noted that it is moving in the right direction. But I think it's great. I think it's a great example, and it's important that it is a Democrat talking that way. Mayor Adams talks that way. Here in New York City, he does. And I think you will continue to see more of it. On the border front, Biden just requested $13.6 billion, which Mike Johnson, he was on in the last hour with Jake Tapper, says he's not going to improve it, even though it means 1,300 new Border Patrol agents, 375 new judges, 1,600 asylum officers to expedite screenings. Republicans need to play ball if they're getting what they want.
What's the point if he's going to let them in anyway?
It is not the point.
Here's the problem. If Biden gets more money and every problem is solved with the money as an answer, all he's going to do is put more Border Patrol and let more people in. 302,000 people in the month of December. That's outrageous. The last month that Trump was in office, it was 70,000. Look, I want to talk about this woman. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. Am I stupid? Maybe. Am I a sucker? Maybe. But at the same time, she said things that made sense to me. She said that what she wanted to do was put more cops on the street. Okay. She said she wanted to have job opportunity programs for kids after school, because we all know that's when they get into trouble. She wants to have an economic opportunity program so people can better the homes in their neighborhoods. She said, and she impressed me as a black woman who seems to care about her community. All right. It is the black community and the brown community that are the victims of crime. And it's not just the color of her skin. I just believe what she's saying, because we know from Mayor Adams, doesn't make a damn bit of difference that he was a cop. He hasn't done a damn thing. Brandon Johnson doesn't make a damn bit of difference that he's from the minority community. I just want to believe that she's going to do something for her community. And I'm impressed by her. Now, the guy who's the mayor, who won't let 40 people into that city in New Jersey because they're a security risk, a health risk. He says that he doesn't want to send them to another town. He wants to send them to the border. But the problem is, if he sends them to the border, they're not going to send them back. They're going to let them into the country. So 2 things there. I like this woman. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. And the mayor, I don't know. I think he's just talking politics.
Dana, I know this is going to tick you off, because it ticks me off as well. Go back 3-4 years to all those interrupted brunches, all those BLM marchers, all these people talking about how bad the system is.
So many eggs Benedict ruined.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God! Don't get me started on the Belgian waffle. But where are they? It's almost like they need to be taken to an auditorium and lectured, because this is what happens
by someone like her.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the things that's impressive about her is she has a strong voice. Just actual strong voice. So she should use the bully pulpit every single day and just be out there. She could join up with somebody like the mayor in Dallas, because black guy who's in Dallas, who's trying to do the right thing. He ultimately decided to change parties, but who cares? These are people who care about their communities. Another problem she has is the fact that Larry Krasner is still the prosecutor.
Right.
Yeah. So you can do all of these things. You could bring more police there, but if they're not going to prosecute the crimes and the cops know that they're just that their jobs don't mean anything, then you're not going to be able to get anywhere. And she didn't mention any of that. So I think the jury is still out.
The jury is still out. Excellent analogy.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. Okay, we're going to move on to something exciting.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.